Alright guys, so we're going to tap this heater thread, the heater outlet. We've got a 1/2 inch BSPT tap and a 90°, that's 1/2 inch BSPT on both ends, and 5/8 for the hose. So, alright, so let's make this happen. Okay, so we got that all finished up. This is pretty much what it's going to look like. The particular fitting I got was a little long, so I did shorten it to clear the mount the engine mount on the block, the casting mount. So I did trim it back here a little bit, and I trimmed the NPT threaded end, only about 3mm, 4mm, just to give it clearance. That's just using these this bend. You may get a different one, I don't know, but as you can see, it's got a fair bit of length here. Some of them I've seen are square. You won't have to do any of that with them ones, just this one. So anyway, so that's done, so we'll move on. And after a quick lick of paint, they don't stand out as much better. Okay, so this morning's job, we'll set the distributor, leads, plugs, and we'll gap these properly. So there's your spark plugs. Got a Raceworks lead kit. That's what we've got. And the dissy, I've just gone through and cleaned everything up with a bit of carby cleaner. Clean up cap. Now, what I find cool is these are actually numbered with your cylinders. I've never seen that before. That makes our job easy. All right, let's go. Alright, so moving on, next job, cam gear cover. So I actually like the exposed cam gear look, but I do plan on driving this car quite a bit. I'd like to do drag challenge and all that with it. So happy medium, I think I'm going to punch a hole in the front of it. That way you still get the exposed cam gear look and adjustability, but still covered for the most part, so should be safe. Something like that. So let's kick off.
There you can be an even sicker cunt. Everyone just takes it off. Modified it.
Nah, what about us? Custom.
Full hectic.
Fucking custom. There you go. Yeah, that's mint. Way better.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and with our custom cam gear cover fitted back up, it's looking pretty mint. As you can see, fits the bolt lines. So that was a 102mm hole saw. It actually works at perfect size. You can get to all these with a ratchet. So, moving on. Okay, so because we're using a Trimatic with the Jatco bell housing, our Trimatic dipstick tube doesn't bolt up, so we'll make a new tab for that now. Alright, so the VL, she's back from paint. It's looking pretty damn awesome. It's all cleaned up real nice. No more hole. So we'll start getting this thing back together. So threw 2 of the Calais wheels on. Got some new tyres fitted up to them just to see how she looked. So it looks pretty awesome. Okay guys, so I've had a fair bit of interest in the power steering setup, and I did say in the last video I would run through how I've done it. So engine here, off the back of the engine, if you remember the last video, there's a braided line that comes off the pump. So that comes off here, down around the block and runs across here and then up into the top side. So on your steering rack, the top side's your high pressure, your bottom side's your low pressure, and that runs up here into an airflow reservoir. I'll put the part number here if you're interested. Out of the bottom of the reservoir, it runs across, just change hands, and this basically runs across the front of the engine and then up into the bottom of the pump. Pretty simple, but it cleans it up heaps. You don't have that plastic reservoir, which is like right, I think it's here, which is right where the manifold comes, so just frees up a bit more room. Alrighty, we'll probably end this video here. I'm going to tear the end of this thing, get the bonnet off, and probably try and get the motor and all that in. So that'll be in the next video. Alright guys, have fun.